मैं हूं इंडिया का सबसे फिल्मी लौंडा राज जोन्स। India का सबसे फिल्मी लौंडा Raaj Jones, and today we are in conversation with the legendary music producer and DJ, and he's one of my favorite artists जिनका नाम है Kashmir. What's up, brother? How are you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Excited to be talking to you.
Same here, brother. Welcome to the show, and I'm honored that you are on my show.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And today, the song has completed 1 crore views.
Yeah, or as in the US, we say 10 million views.
10 millions, yeah. Big congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
So, brother, tell me, how was your Ultra India tour?
Oh, it was amazing. Like, whenever I come to India, I prepare a very special show. So I do mashups with some Bollywood tracks. And of course, I played the album out. And I made versions of the album tracks that I felt were suited better for a dance crowd. So I quickly went between 3 songs, and then I kind of mashed up into something more dance friendly. And then I finished off with Hot Bharti. And from Hot Bharti, I went into Basti Ka Hasti, and I did a remix even of Basti Ka Hasti. And the crowd really loved that.
Great, man. So you performed in 2 cities, Mumbai and Bangalore.
Yes.
About Bombay, and one thing about Bangalore, you super like it. The food, the people, the music.
Yeah. So Bangalore, I grew up coming to Bangalore because my chachi, they live in Bangalore. So I would stay with them. And at that time, when I was younger, it was a bit more quiet. It was not as bustling as it is today. But now Bangalore is quite bustling. It's got, at the show, it was the huge crowd, full of energy. Mumbai, growing up, I didn't go to Mumbai as much. It's only been through my career that I've spent so much time there. And it's much different as well than the India I grew up in, because when I was young, I didn't see young people going out partying. And Mumbai it's a lot more like a Western city. You see a lot of nice clubs, bars, young people going out, women going out as well. And
which is your favorite Indian food? If I talk about
tandoori chicken, I'd say is my all-time favorite. Yeah.
Same here, bro. Same here.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Cataracts started as a hip-hop duo. Then you changed the genre of music you were making. And now you are coming up with the biggest Desi hip-hop album. So tell me, how did you come up with this idea?
So I started in hip-hop music. That was the first kind of music that I produced. And I was making beats for me to rap on originally, because I was a rapper in the beginning. And when I got to high school, I became known at my school as the guy who would produce music. So if you're a rapper, you come to my house, you produce. I would produce, I would record people. And me and my friend David, we started a group called the Cataracts. And after a few years, we got a song on the radio, and we were selling out shows in the Bay Area, California. I moved down to LA, and I was producing for anybody who would take a session with me. And one of those people was the Far East movement. And I produced the Like a G6 song. David wrote the chorus, and then our friend Dev sang the chorus. And in about 6 to 8 months or so, it started to get a buzz on the radio. And then from there, it just went to #1. So that was a really big pop song, but really it was me doing sort of a hip hop beat in my eyes, just a fast, dance kind of hip hop beat. And from there, I started to make pop music, because after the success of Like a G6, a lot of people wanted me to produce a pop song that would be equally as successful as G6. And I had some success. Some things worked out. I did a single for Selena Gomez. I did an album for Enrique Iglesias. I did songs for Robin Thicke on his album. There were some really great experiences there, but I think my true passion was creating my own music. And so I started to fall in love with dance music and wanted to try my hand in dance music. Went high in the DJ mags and sort of solidified my place in the DJ world. And then from there, after 6-7 years of doing that, I decided I wanted a new passion, not to abandon dance music. I still love making dance music. Even, this week I've been making dance music songs, but to recognize the hip hop scene that was starting to explode in India I became so excited about it and I wanted to become a part of it. And my education began with guys like Divine after seeing the Gully Boy movie, moving on to guys like Raftar, Sile Malt, Krishna, um, and King. And really, at first, just getting a really high level view of who's the biggest guys on the scene. And then meeting guys like Youngsta, we have Riyar Saab on the album. Yes, Raaj, who's one of my personal favorites, and even a longtime friend Zayden has made it onto the album. I got to work with some good friends as well as people I really admired just by educating myself on the hip hop scene. And I was so lucky and I'm so grateful that I was able to bring so many of them together.
In past, you were listening to all these rap artists who were featuring in your album, and then you got the idea to make the biggest they say hip hop album. Is that true?
Yeah, the idea wasn't to make the biggest album. It was just to bring as many of my favorite artists together as I could.
So I just want to tell them that Kashmir is not new. He started as a hip hop duo. So I think it's I
Yeah.
want to say it for the audience. Everybody is expecting the album is gonna drop soon. What do you have to say to the young audience? Who don't know about you, that you started as a hip hop duo. Now you are coming with the biggest hip hop album. What do you have to say to the audience, the young audience?
I was making hip hop when you were sucking on your mom's titties. So I don't want to hear about I want to hear about I don't know about hip hop. I know about hip hop. Trust me.
Yeah,
My walls were covered in the legends. Nas,
yeah.
Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. Um, you know, what I love about the Indian hip hop scene is that you're seeing inspiration from artists that I consider the golden era, the greatest of all time. Like when I hear Divine rap, that's the kind of bars and lyricism that I feel is missing sometimes in the US. It was sort of sectioned off a little bit. Like the guys that I really respected lyrically are, in many ways from a past generation. You still have some guys doing it. You still J. Cole's still doing it, Kendrick is still doing it. But I think in India, it's so exciting because there's no rules. Everybody is pulling from the best of every generation of hip hop because in India, it's fairly new. So you just pull from everything, and it's a very exciting time in the Indian hip hop scene.
Tell me about the album. Who all are featuring in it, and why is it called Karm?
So the album is a concept album. You've got a story that's told through the interludes that follows a young, impoverished boy from a broken home who leaves and wants to have more for himself, to create a better life. And he forms a gang with his friends, and his friends grow. Their gang grows in notoriety, and eventually he's tries to get a normal life, a good life from the wealth that he's created, but he's pulled back in when one of his friends is murdered, and he's brought back in, and eventually he can't escape his own qaram. The things that led him to that place, the deeds that he's done, he can't escape them. And so it all comes full circle. And also the word qaram is very close to karma, and there's the karma that he can't escape as well, right? Like the qaram leads to the karma. And in his case, everything comes full circle. And also my name, Kashmir, it's K. So, no, don't take that the wrong way, but yeah, but the K is a common thread amongst it as well. And that's what really made it the right choice for the album for me. And I would ask them to put themselves in the perspective of our character. So what's happening at a moment in the story, for each song, we're trying to create that perspective. So the Sile Mot guys, they did a song about the early stages of the story where our main character is trying to get some money. So he's robbing, he's stealing, he's going into a store, he's saying, give me the money, give me the money. Then later, we have an incredibly emotional song by Youngsta that's about the passing of our character's friend, losing his friend when his friend is killed. And then by the end, we've got a great revenge song. I I don't want to give too much away, but Yashraj, Hanumankind, kill it. Like they just, it's angry, it's revenge, it's vindictive, it's menacing, and every song has its own emotion. And of course, Hot Party, which is it's the big one that's out right now. That's when we're enjoying, our main character's enjoying it. He's at the club, he's having fun with his friends. He just came into his money and he's enjoying it. So there's a different mood for each song, but it all fits into the story.
Yes, I think it's a, I love the concept. I love the story about the album. Every situation has a song. Can you please tell me, brother, how many artists are featuring in the album?
I can't say that right now. I think yeah.
Some names you can drop for exclusive, for Raj Jones exclusive.
Yeah, I can guarantee MC Stan is on the album.
Yes, I heard that song.
Yeah. Yashraj for sure. Okay. Zayden for sure. Riyar Saab, Raja Kumari's on there. Yeah, I mean, Youngsta's on there. A lot of really incredible artists are on there. Don't worry. There's a lot of incredible artists on there.
And which is your favorite feature from the album?
Bro, like I would say, Sile Mo are one of my favorite rappers, just hands down. I think the song we did is also incredible, but they're just really exciting to me. And Yashraj is really it would be kind of obvious to say the bigger names, but I really feel that Yashraj is people know about him, but he deserves even more shine than he's getting. Any beat that I play him, he eats it up for breakfast. He eats it up. No scrambled eggs, no hot sauce. Like he eats it up every time. And it doesn't matter what kind of track. His lyricism is second to none. Somebody that I didn't expect, that we didn't plan for on the album, was Riyar Saab, who just happened to be in the studio that day. And we connected. And I was like, hey, I want to play you some music. I want to hear your music. It was very natural. And then he ended up adding a whole nother level to this song that he's on. And when you hear it, you'll understand what I'm saying. He brings that Punjabi energy, and it brings the song to a whole nother energy level. Like, it's crazy.
Lots of beat producers are also working in the
album.
I think
for sure.
Sana Beats, Phenom.
Karan Kanchan, we did the Sile Mo track together. Honestly, we made it in the studio that day. Same day as the Sile Mo boys were coming. Had Karan there. We started on it. It came together just like that. Stunna, we did a track together. Stunna Beats. Phenom, of course, he is featured on Hot Party. And he gave it those, baile funk drums, of which he is a master. He is, when it comes to drums, he's got a different brain. He's something special. And that's why I knew I had to bring him on for that track. And yeah, is there anybody that I'm forgetting? Did you mention one that I didn't mention? I don't know. Maybe I forgot one.
Maybe I know only Karan Kanchan, Phenom, and Stunna Beat. Earlier, you have decided that you're not going to produce the whole album. You will also, feature other producers to work with.
Yeah, well, when I work with the other producers, it's not like they just produce the track. Okay. I collaborate with them on the production. So the way that works usually is I'll start on a beat and then I give it to them. They add their things that maybe I wouldn't have thought of. And then they send it back and we go back and forth that way. In the case of Karan, it was in the studio together in real time. We're just making it. I maybe even started in his computer in Fruity Loops, and we were adding things, and then he passed it to me, and then like that.
Okay, that's great. I'm super excited because other three producer are also my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are really talented, man. Really
Yes,
talented. Yeah, but
yes,
there's guys I want to work with, like Says. I want to
yes.
do something with Says. He's crazy.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, he's brilliant, man. He's brilliant.
Bro, tell me the name of the artist from the album whom you enjoyed a lot in the session or recording.
You know, Hanuman Kind and I we really got along. Of course, he's rapping in English, so I have an easier time to understand. And his vibe is just a great vibe. Like that's just the guy that you want to see win. He's one of the coolest people. And then also when it comes to rapping, he's serious. You know, there's really his game lyrically is so tight.
Yes.
And I just enjoy listening to him as well. So to find out that he was such a great person, you know, great guy in the studio. Also, Stan, I think Stan is so cool to me because you know he's younger and his approach is so feeling based.
Yes.
He wasn't always able to, you know, fully communicate. We couldn't fully communicate with one another a little bit because of the language barrier, but he had such a clear vision for how he wanted things to sound, how he wanted to approach records, that I always really admire that in artists when their vision is very clear. And I think that's been a big contributor to his success also because he has such a defined aesthetic and vision for his music.
Any specific message uh, you gonna give to the Indian hip hop audience or the Desi audience who consume rap music a lot about the album?
Oh, well, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I think it covers a lot of different genres within hip hop. And yeah, just know that it's a labor of love. And this wasn't just thrown together. It wasn't just, hey, let me see who I could get on the album, put him on this beat, put him on this beat. It was
Yes.
so much work into nurturing every song to its full potential. And yeah, it was, you know, a representation of me at my most passionate about music. You know, I've been making dance music for a long time.
Yes.
Coming into something new, it reignited the flame in me to want to make the best possible, you know, Desi hip hop
Yes.
album that I could make.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, in the early journey, you have worked as a ghost producer. So tell me about that.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. I had a good friend at the time in Los Angeles who was a DJ, but he didn't know how to produce music. So he came to me and said, Niles, why don't we make some songs together? And I said, yeah, sure. And we worked out a deal where if he plays shows, you know, I would get a little bit of the money from the shows, and in return, I would produce all of his music. And so you know, yeah, it was a good, healthy relationship for a time. And then when it no longer was the right fit for me, I moved on. And, you know, yeah.
I ask this question because every time I interview with music producer, lyricist, singer,
Yeah.
or rapper, they always tell me, in my early days, I have done a lots of ghost, work.
Sometimes when people are talking about doing ghost work, it's because they just got started. And my situation was a little bit different, right? Like I had a pretty big career in pop music already. So when I went to ghost produce, I don't want to put this the wrong way. It was more me helping my friend up than it was the other way around. Like I in some cases somebody's just trying to get started, so they're producing or they're writing for almost no money. Like it's not a good deal for them, but they're doing it in the hopes that they can get noticed and that they'll be able to make music of their own. In my case, I was making a lot of music on my own, and I was interested in dance music, and I hadn't done dance music yet. So I told my friend, "Hey, I'll help you and produce some music for you." So I was never exploited or taken advantage of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think then it sound more better that you were helping your friend. You were
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing ghost. You're just helping
Yeah,
because you're not exploited.
I was a ghost. I was in the background.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
but I was a well-fed ghost.
I want to talk about your sample packs because Machayenge, MEA Banta is Machayenge. That instrument is, I think it's your sample pack. And then
Yeah,
Yo-Yo Honey sings boom, boom, boom. That beat was also from your sample
I
pack.
think it's awesome. Um, in the comments you might see, oh, they stole this from Kashmir, or even I did my own song, My Best Life,
Yeah,
using the Machenge,
that
the vocal loop that he did. But that's okay. I mean, both songs were popular. His was probably a little more popular, but but I'm happy about it. Like when I make sounds and then people get to use them to make big songs, I love it because I can make a little loop, but it takes a lot more work to make a whole song. So I'm not going to make a song with every loop that I make. It's nice to be able to make just a little loop and then see somebody else go and make a wonderful song with it. In some cases, a big hit like Taki Taki, the DJ Snake one, that was the Sounds of Kashmir loop from Sounds of Kashmir 2, I believe. I love it. And it gives me a sense of pride that the community, which is so important to me,
yeah.
I've contributed to. I've given something back to that community. And that's enough of a reward for me. I'm happy enough with that.
Yes, I got you. It feels like Kashmir was there before. The album is coming, but Kashmir was there before
Yeah.
through his sample packs and all.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was a nice icebreaker in a lot of the hip hop sessions because everybody knows me through the sample pack. Even Stan, he's been
Yeah,
using my samples because Stan is a great producer. People should know that as well. He's a great
yes.
music producer as well.
He do a lot of sampling and he is amazing with that. There were two collaboration. People were talking about. Some people messages me. Some people were commenting on the YouTube videos. Kashmir X Badshah and Kashmir X Yo-Yo Honey Singh. In future, this is gonna
I
happen.
think I think in the future I would love it to happen. Um, for this album, I don't think so. I don't think so. But
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
but uh, not in the album. If they're not in the album, other than that,
I
something
would
else.
love to. We have not started on anything yet, but I would love to. I would love to.
Oh, great. So I think fans gonna be happy when they watch the video.
Mm, I would love to.
Do you use any Kashmiri instrument or Kashmiri folk as a sample in the album?
That's a great question. No, not really. But I've started on a different project that's a dance project that I'm going to be focused on after this album, which
Okay.
is a really cool blend of like ethnic sounds, deep house, like how would I say it? It's kind of like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. music, or even if you're riding in your car music. And I've been working with a good friend, Mark Bal, who's a Kashmiri singer who I actually met when I did my show in Srinagar on Dal Lake when I did a performance on a boat. I did it in the middle of Dal Lake. I did a DJ show. I wanted to blend Kashmiri music with dance music, and so I saw who has done a new version of old Kashmiri songs that my dad had told me about, and
Yeah.
and I found him, Marek Paul, and uh, he was singing, and now I've gotten his vocals on this new project, and we've done many tracks together.
So not on this album, but in future you're gonna do Kashmiri dancehall or you use Kashmiri instrument or folk in your music.
Yes, Yes.
Great. I'm excited about it. How Mass Appeal came into the scene and your experience working with them. Any highlights, any good times with them, or from your trip to Bombay this time?
You know, I knew about Mass Appeal for many years. First of all, the name I think is from an EPMD song, if I'm not mistaken. And I was a big fan of classic hip hop. Let me just confirm the name Mass Appeal. Was it Gangstar? Yeah, Gangstar. Sorry. Yeah, the name I remember from the Gangstar song. And they're rooted really in hip hop going back many years. You know, Nas is labeled now, Nas become part of it. And so, and Divine, of course. So it felt like joining a team with a great knowledge of hip hop. And I think that's been the case. Everybody on the team has helped to educate me on the Indian hip hop scene and to make better decisions when it comes to the songs, getting good feedback from them, and with the rollout as well, knowing how to put this album out in a way that really resonates with the fans. So it's been a great team, and I couldn't be more happy to work with them.
Great. And any Bombay experience with the team? With the team, you were chilling or partying?
Yeah, you know, a lot of our time in this last trip was around the music video. Like we were getting the clothing for the music video. Yeah, we went out and got some drinks, but nothing super over the top. We just we kind of spent our days, you know, going around, like going to different shops, you know, doing meetings, talking, overviewing the album. I wish I had crazier stories. There were a couple of nights that we went out to some clubs. It was fun. Yeah.
So in future, you're gonna work with Mass Appeal India artists who are on the label, Indian artists.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, yeah, 100%. I would love to work with some of the artists on Mass Appeal. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like Nas, who we're speaking to. And the great thing about Mass Appeal is they're very open to working with the whole community. And I think that's what's so important, is to not have, you know, tribalism and just cutting it off to any artist. They're very supportive of the whole hip hop community, you know, and I think it's a great home for anybody who wants to join it, though. Anybody in the Indian hip hop scene, you know, especially after they see the way they handle this album, I think you'll see a lot of artists wanting to come to Mass Appeal.
What do you have to say, before we end, to the people related to your album?
I love you guys. The album is coming soon. The next single is coming even sooner. And I can't wait to hear what you all think. And thank you so much for the support on Hot Party. Yeah. See you soon, guys.
And anything you want to say me in Hindi?
Yeah, bolo. Fir milenge. I'll see you.
Okay, and all the best for the album, brother. Matt, I want to say this album be the one of the G-Fart album of 2023. It's gonna be the G-Fart album.
Thank you, bro. I believe it. You believe it, now I believe it.
Because I consume rap music, hip hop music a lot, and I've heard from the sources about the album, and and the sources are good with the air.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. मुझे इतना प्यार देने के लिए शुक्रिया, भाई.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. You were on the show. It's a big honor for me. Big shout out to Mass Appeal, Ranbir, Sandeep, and everybody. Just fix the interview with you, man. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Talk to you soon, bro.
Thank you. Peace.